and welcome to Erica and her mom. Today we're going to be talking about our Passover and how wonderful it was. So we're having a little coffee time. Hey Mom,
Yeah.
you should come on over before your coffee gets cold.
Okay.
I already started the camera. I'm already drinking. We can talk about how wonderful Passover was.
Okay, I hope I don't spill it or break it.
Push it off the table.
Well, hi everybody. That is true. So I've spent since October preparing for this Passover Seder that we had, not last night, but the night before. And what I did was all my decluttering of the house. I just really felt like doing a spring cleaning, even though it wasn't spring yet. I knew spring was coming. And to get to where I wanted to get to, I had to start back then. So cleaning out the closets, cleaning out the garage, cleaning out...
You've been on a decluttering binge.
I've been on a roll. A binge. It has been a binge.
Yeah.
And the great thing is I got so much stuff out of the kitchen that the kitchen was just so easy to work in this Passover.
Nice.
So, you know what? It really paid off. It really paid off. And I found every bit of leaven, every crumb in this house, because every surface has been cleaned. So I feel like I really got it done this year better than other years.
Yeah, it's hard too.
It is hard.
It's hard.
Especially if you have a little one that drop crumbs everywhere. In your car, the car seat.
In their bedroom.
In their bedroom.
Baseboards.
Everything.
Under
crumbs.
Toy boxes.
Everywhere.
They're everywhere.
So
between the bed and the bed thing, you have to wipe that out.
And
yeah.
the bed frame.
Isn't that
Yeah, I feel like with all the cleaning that I've done, that I really kind of got ahead of it this year, and hopefully and I think you have to do a declutter all the time. You have to stay vigilant on the declutter. Like you bought a pair of shoes, right? And what happened?
Worst decision I made. I don't know where to put them now.
Because why?
Because I have to throw another pair of shoes away. I have no space, but they were really cute.
So everything you have enough space for what you need in your house.
Yeah.
And so you have enough space for your shoes, because we did your closet. And now you have a pair of shoes that you don't have space for. So.
That's all right. I'll figure something out.
Yeah. You know what you do? You go through and you get rid of the pair that if you were going to go out today, you would not wear. I just will not wear this pair of shoes unless, so you have to decide on the occasion. If you're dressing up, I would wear this pair of shoes. If it's casual, I would wear this pair of shoes. And then look at the ones you didn't choose.
Mom, you're off topic.
I did get off topic. I love decluttering. Okay, let's get back to Passover.
You've been working on it since October.
Yeah, yes.
And you tried to get all the leaven out.
Yes.
And you prepared for a bunch of people.
Can I go back to the leaven?
Yeah.
So the leaven in Scripture, God relates that to sin. So getting the clutter out of the house was chaos. So getting the chaos out of your life, when you take sin out of your life, the chaos level in your life drops.
Yeah.
So it's kind of all connected. It's all connected. So now getting back to Passover. Yes, so we had 14 people for our Passover Seder, I think. So
6 at that table.
12.
12.
We had 12 people for Passover.
12. But you originally had almost 30 coming.
We had a lot of people coming.
Yeah.
In the beginning, and for different reasons they weren't able to come. So we had, it was really nice having the amount we had, because we had 2 little boys.
Yep.
2 4-year-olds. And so it took the rest of the 10 people to keep up with the 2 4-year-olds.
Yeah, yeah. And their uncle, at one point, both had ice creams and they couldn't sit down.
With chocolate-covered ice cream on a
And
stick.
their uncle was chasing them around the whole time with wet cloths, wiping up the floor, which kept him busy.
So that was 3 out of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But And I know from like my point of view, so I work a lot, between 40 and 45 hours a week. And I had brought lamb over earlier in the week. The daycare was closed that day, so you had Ezra before everybody was coming over. So it was a very hectic day on all accounts. I was trying to get
so Ezra came the day of Passover about 7:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so he helped me cut herbs in the garden for the meal. So I kept him busy as I could, and we did change the hardware, the knobs on the bathrooms.
Oh, okay.
And he helped me with that. So he would count them out and hand them to me, tell me which kind I would need on a drawer and a door. So that kept him busy doing that.
But I'm sure that took you twice as long.
It took a little longer, but at least I knew where he was and he was safe. So we did a lot of working together. He cut rosemary in the garden for the lamb. He helped me peel garlic.
Oh.
That's hilarious to have a 4-year-old peel garlic and it gets sticky on your fingers, and he's got like all these little sticky garlics trying to peel. But he knows how to do it now. So there's a lot that goes into preparing for Passover, and you have to be ready to roll with the punches.
You do. And my big thing, like I worked that day, I came picked up Ezra early.
Yeah.
I took my lunch, picked him up, and then Jeremy came and picked him up from my work by the time I got there.
Right.
So I had my clothes in my car just in case I didn't get out of work, which I didn't, which was fine because I had a bunch of stuff to do. We already knew that was going to happen. And I forgot the plates. I was supposed to bring golden white plates over 6.
Right.
And I forgot those, but I got you the lamb earlier.
Yeah.
A portion of the lamb, which still sorry for.
That's
like
okay.
you just asked me
That's
for plates.
okay.
That's all.
But you know what I did? I wanted to set both tables alike, and so I didn't have enough white china dishes with a gold rim. But Erica has my old set.
Yeah. I
have a new set. She has my old set. And they would just match really well together. So I needed 6 more plates from her. But because her week, she has t-ball or baseball, soccer, work, life, and everything else. So it slipped her mind. So I have plates with fruit on it and my gold and white plates. And I just did an every other one. And I like it better.
I like this match stuff though.
It made it just a lighter feel, so it wasn't too formal.
It matched the lemons.
It matched the lemons, yeah. It actually was really pretty that way.
And then, to top it off, I wore pink instead of a blue shirt like everybody else. I can't believe I did that. I was just thinking your house is always cold, so I was going to
wear something warm.
And
I did have the air conditioner cranked down a little bit because I had the oven going, baking lamb, and then the stove I was making matzo ball soup, so I had a lot of heat going on.
Yeah.
And I get really hot, so I had the air conditioner down. So that was a good idea. It was so funny. Everybody wore blue except for you and the Andriolis. They wore red.
Well,
red and black.
Red and black.
And blue. You all looked so beautiful.
Thank you.
Everybody looked great. And I appreciate that everybody, kind of dressed up a little bit. That was nice. And except for Jules, he wore a t-shirt. He never even thought about his clothes. And I thought, no, I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah, why?
Just let him be comfortable. Yeah. So the host of Passover wore a t-shirt.
Had a hole in it at the pocket.
He had a hole in it. But he was comfortable and happy, so.
But I have to say.
And it was blue, though.
It was blue. He did wear blue. But it was a really nice Passover. It was very calm, very intimate. And something that I always have a problem with and I have issues with is doing like High Holy Days or Passover or that kind of stuff. Not at home.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like it to be very intimate and with family.
Right.
And it still felt like that.
Yeah, it did. It did because everyone that was here is considered family.
Yeah.
So it was just really, really nice. The word Seder, we call it a Passover Seder, a Passover meal, but Seder means order. And so there's a book that we go through that tells everything in order of Passover, and the first Passover when Moses was in Egypt and God gave him the instruction to do a Passover. And so we tell the story, and then we tell the story of them also leaving Egypt. So we have that same story every year, but every year you get more out of it. And so I think when you have a smaller group, you even get more out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and because you can even talk about things. And, you know, when you have a huge group, you're just trying to keep the Seder going, you know, getting towards the end because it's long. I mean,
it can be very long.
It takes a couple hours. It takes a few hours to do this. And then
in a small group it does.
Yeah. So we were able to actually do a hand washing in the kitchen with a hand washing cup this time.
That was nice.
And if you don't know where that's from, you, Exodus, I think it's Exodus 30, around 21 to 23. It talks about washing your hands. But we also do it before we eat the bread, the unleavened bread, because unleavened bread is bread without leaven, and the leaven is reminiscent of sin. So we want to clean hands and a pure heart before we handle our pure bread. So we were able to do that. Everybody had lamb.
Everybody had lamb.
The lamb was good.
It was fantastic. It was really good.
Nice and moist, and
good sides.
And I told Ezra, I said, when everybody likes the lamb tonight, it's because you cut the rosemary and peel the garlic for it. And he did. So I don't know if he remembered that, but make sure you tell him you like the lamb tonight.
I will. I'll let him know.
Yeah.
You know, the food was fantastic. I think my favorite part, at one point I remember like just sitting there and you were reading, and I was just looking around the table, and I just sat there thinking, I really liked it. But it was just, it got to a place and a point during the week where it's just very hectic, and sitting there reminiscing, it was very calming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just very...
Well, I think there's a
you
spirit in the room. It was here last year too, but I know that last year I was trying to get through the Seder a little bit faster. You know, when you have new people that really don't understand how long it takes, you try to make it easy on them. And so this year, I told Jules, I'm reading every word in the book. And I did. I almost even read copyright. I read everything in the book and then some, plus some other stuff. So I think when you do that, and when you really put the importance of that order in place, the Spirit is here. And it was in the room. Yeah. Definitely in the room Friday night. And it's a spirit of calm and peace. And when you're doing what God has instructed you to do, on the day He instructed you to do it, He really shows up and blesses you. So, and Laurel, who is in college, your daughter, did her own little Seder.
She did, yeah. She had to work that day, and she was working kind of late, so she couldn't go to the local synagogue to have Seder with them. So she called me at 7 in the morning and said she couldn't find any lamb, and she was going to do her own Seder. She got everything the night before. So I had to hurry up and find kosher lamb to get to her that night, which I found one piece of lamb. It was...
Then you sent it?
0.87 of a pound. But I got it to her, and she cooked it up, and her and her friends had a really nice Seder that night.
How wonderful is it that Laurel, so far away, is so committed that she would do a Passover Seder, invite her two friends who have never had a Passover, never been to a Passover Seder, and she could share that with them. And what she told me was, she said it was so wonderful because it was small and intimate. So imagine, so the same feeling we got here, she got there at the same time, which that really blesses me to know.
It's in her.
That it's in
there.
Her.
It's there.
Train up a child in the way that they will go.
You know, she sent me pictures of her little Seder plate. Their Seder plate was on like a paper plate, and she wrote it in with a blue pen, like what was supposed to be on the Seder plate. And
yeah, I mean, she really did her best, and I told her that was the most beautiful Seder table.
It was
in
cute.
the history of all Seders.
Because
it was from the heart.
It was really neat. It was really neat. I was really proud of her.
I'm so proud of her.
It was incredible. So,
yeah.
It was good. I do have one complaint.
Oh, no.
You went through the plagues really fast. I couldn't dip my finger that fast, and finally I was like counting.
Oh.
It was like I'm 2 drops behind everybody.
Yeah, so what you do is, as we count through all the plagues, the 10 plagues that came on Egypt, you dip your finger in your wine or your grape juice, and then you dip it on your plate. And so that signifies each one, and you're counting them out as the leader calls it out. And
it's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then I count, I'm like, I need 2 more.
Well, I was watching Samuel at the table, and as he did it, he was my guide of how fast I was going to go. Sorry. So
he has long fingers.
That's true. Yeah, it would be a lot easier for him.
I was like, why is she going so fast?
You need a fuller glass, I guess.
So. I don't know.
So anyway, we had a wonderful Seder.
We did.
And today we start counting the Omer, which we will, we count the Omer because this is how God instructed Moses to know when he was going to receive the commandments on Mount Sinai. So he started with day 1 and he counted an Omer. And the next day he counted 2 Omers. And the next day he counted 3 Omers up to the 49 Omers, which is the 50th day. And Christians call that Pentecost. And because the apostles were gathered in the upper room and the Spirit was given.
Right.
But Moses received the commandments on Mount Sinai, and God just wrote that on his heart and his mind, and he wrote it on the tablets, and you know what happened with the tablets, they get broken, and so then Moses has to write them himself. But so we count up that, and we have Psalms 91. We count one of those Psalms every day. We read that Psalm every day. And it's in the Hebrew letters. It's written in the Hebrew letters. So Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, so on and so forth. And you do that up to the 22nd Hebrew letter, because there's 22. And then you start over again. And the reason we read that is those are Psalms where King David is pouring out his love for God and his love for his word, his Torah. And so that elevates how we feel, because we just can't say it the way King David did. So we read it. But we count and we say
there's an Omer, an ancient Hebrew unit of dry capacity.
Oh, okay. An ancient Hebrew unit of dry capacity equal to 1/10 of an ephah. Often capitalize the sheaf of barley traditionally offered in Jewish temple worship on the 2nd day of Passover. So
I just Googled it.
Thanks, Google. Yay, Google. Anyway, so you can do this too. You can just, read through the Psalms every day and then reread it until you get to the 50th day. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so
how do you think it went, Mom? What did you take away from it?
Passover.
Now that it's done, your dishes are done, you've had a day to relax.
I feel like leading up to it, you get to a point where you think, I'm never going to pull this off. But then you get past that, and you do, and you're so happy that just to hear the voices in the room, to hear everybody, whether I was talking to them or not, it was just nice. It was just good, and to know that we're all gathered in one place for one reason, and that was to keep a command of God. Mm-hmm. That He instructed you to keep Passover for your generations forever. So everybody should be doing this. If your God is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you're missing out if you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's an eternal command. And just to have everybody here not everybody got to come, and I wish the other people had been here.
Yeah.
It was just such a great feeling of wholeness and completeness that you don't get in this world all the time. You just, I don't know, you just feel good about everything that's going on. And Nisan 14 is the day of Passover, but Nisan 1 is the beginning of the month, the beginning of all months. That if you read in scripture, it says this is the beginning of months. So on Nisan 1, we have a new moon that comes out to tell you the beginning of each month. And so we went out and we blew the shofar, you know, and you say the prayers that you're looking forward to, may this be a good month. So we had an expectation of good. And then Passover comes, and it kind of solidifies that prayer, that you realize that God did answer your prayer. And yeah, it's just good. It's all good.
So I do have to mention, while you were reading, there was a point that I played a joke on somebody, on Michael.
Oh.
Because you were reading, and you know, you're reading the stuff, and everybody's paying attention, and they're like really into it. And I saw him look down. I don't know what he was doing, like he was messing with something. And you said, okay, now the child needs to open the door. So I look up at him and I go, Michael, go open the door. And he got up and he went and opened the door.
He's so obedient. Michael is so sweet and so obedient. Okay.
So he went and opened the door. I cracked up laughing. I couldn't stop laughing after that.
So at one point in the Passover Seder, we opened the door for Elijah. We actually set a place for Elijah. And Elijah, the spirit of Elijah comes in. But yeah, that was good. He's eager. He's very eager to do what he can do.
He's older than me, so.
Is he older than you?
Yeah, that's what made the whole thing funny.
I didn't know. Huh.
I just knew he wasn't paying attention.
So
I just
funny.
had to get him out of that.
Yeah. Michael's her big brother,
Yeah.
but spiritual big brother.
But it was funny. It was a good time. I mean, and it was very lighthearted.
Yes,
Like through the whole thing. That
it wasn't heavy.
No.
It wasn't heavy. It was a very fun and enjoying time.
Yeah. So
and when we were doing hand washing, that was kind of, you know, everybody came through. We, you know, clean hands and a pure heart. Everybody washes their hands. And at the very end, there was nobody to wash my hands. So I was going to wash my own hands. And then you and Michael were both going to step up to wash my hands. That was actually kind of funny too. That's the funny part.
I could have done it. I did it. I mean, I'm just faster than him.
They're just...
And you started doing the prayer, and he's like, do you know the prayer? I'm like, actually, I don't know it in Hebrew. He goes, well, I do. And I'm like...
They're both overachievers, so...
You should give her the towel. I don't know, buddy.
How blessed is it to have two people to want to wash your hands for Passover? So... Anyway, that was just so wonderful. It was a wonderful time, and I'll post some pictures so that you can see a glimpse of our Passover. And hope you had a wonderful Passover. Thank you so much for watching
and being a part. And you posted a video of
setting the Passover table.
Setting the Passover table.
Yeah,
so that was good.
So
that means a lot.
Takes preparation, but it's worth it in the end. So
always.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.